Hi, this is Joel Persinger. I'm the gun guy. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really, seriously, deeply appreciate the fact that you do. Now, I've got some stuff I promised that I was going to do for you, and one of those things was to take my rifle, this AR15, and make it California compliant as best I know how. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to swap out one of the parts. Now, before I do that, I want to also thank a couple of people, 3 to be exact, who were kind enough to help us out on Patreon. Curtis L., Christopher S., and Ed Z. Thank you very much. Again, I'm leaving the last names out because I don't know if they want to, get the notoriety. So I'm leaving the last names out just to be courteous. But thank you very much to the 3 of you for helping me out. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this video, please accept my sincerest thanks. In case you don't know, we are on Patreon. We're doing it a little different than a lot of people are. I'm not asking you for donations. What I'm doing is providing some special content for you on Patreon that hopefully is worth your investment in the channel. And it's a very small investment. You can sign up on Patreon for as little as $1. You're going to get, depending on the level you sign up for, I think the highest one is $9. You're going to get some great pictures and behind-the-scenes stuff and so on. There's also the twice-a-month audio podcast. It's a half-an-hour audio podcast we release on the 5th and 20th of each month, plus custom videos and some exclusive videos that nobody else gets to see except the folks on Patreon. So if you'd like to check it out, go ahead and look for the link in the description. All right, now back to what we were doing, which is the compensator. This compensator is from Optics Planet. They were kind enough to send it to me so that I could do this for you. They sent me some other stuff too, but this is the first thing we're going to do today, is swap out the little birdcage flash hider that's on the rifle for this muzzle brake / compensator. All right, so what we got to do now is I need some tools. We're going to spin the flash hider off of the barrel, and then there's a crush washer that comes with the muzzle brake. We're going to put the crush washer on and spin the muzzle brake on. And we need some specific tools to do that. First of all, I'm going to have to take the rifle apart, or at least separate the upper from the lower. That's pretty simple. Then I got to take the optics off because my block, where's my block? My block for the vise will not fit over the upper with the optics on there. So I've got a simple little crescent wrench to loosen those up, makes it a little easier. I've got a block to put it in the vise. I have a vise over here, which you probably can't see in the camera, but you will. And I've got my AR15 wrench, which is going to allow me to spin that off. So with all those tools, and the most important part, my coffee, we're ready to get started. So let's go. Lined up just exactly right. So there you go. How hard was that? I think we should take this baby now and go to the range. The first thing I noticed when I got it to the range is that it really allowed me to keep rounds on target and reduce the muzzle flip a lot, and not much muzzle flash in my face. So we slowed it down a few times. You can see carefully if you look that the muzzle flash is coming mostly out of the sides with only a little bit coming up to reduce muzzle flip. Outstanding. Even when I was shooting as fast as I could keep rounds on target, it was easy to keep the rounds on the target, even out to about 20, 22 yards. In fact, as you look at the target here, although they weren't necessarily in the bullseye, they were still staying in the general area no matter how fast I shot. I was very pleased that it worked as well as it did. Now, truthfully, the only reason I went from this, which was my flash hider, to this, which is a compensator, is because the California government made me do it. However, in retrospect, I'm really glad I did, and I think had I had an opportunity to try them anyway, I probably would have done it because I decided to. Now, the reason why I urge people to join the NRA, and I'm urging you to join now, is because I'd rather that we have the choice instead of being forced to make that change. So if you'd like to join the NRA, please do. There is a link in the description that will take you to a special spot on our website where you can join the NRA for less than the cost of one box of ammunition. And if you haven't already joined, I urge you to do so. Join the National Rifle Association today. Having said that now that I've installed it, I'm not sorry that I did. It's really kind of cool. And I was impressed as how well it was grouping, no matter how fast I shot, out to, I think it was 22 or 23 yards I had the target out. Now, keep in mind that the rounds were grouping low and a little bit to the right. I did not have an opportunity to readjust the sight once I put them back on again, and they didn't hold zero quite the way I would want them to. I've been so busy at work I didn't have a time to do with it. So I just shot it the way it was, and frankly it did okay, and it kept it on target. And I wish I had one of those targets. It's only about yay big. So when you look at what I was hitting out at 20 yards, and the group I had was, it was only about yay big. The group was about yay big at 20 yards, rapid fire from the shoulder, with me shooting. Get an expert, and it might have been smaller. So I was finding that getting that red dot right back on the target was much, much faster with the muzzle brake. I'm very impressed. All right, so if you would like to get this muzzle brake, I got it from Optics Planet, or the tools that I showed you, I got those from Optics Planet as well. There are links in the description where you can find them. I know we sped up the part where I actually did the mechanics of changing the devices out. If you'd actually like to see that in detail, where I can explain to you how I did it and what I did and how many pounds per square inch and how to put the crush washer on and those kind of things, that's going to be on Patreon, so you'll see the full detail on Patreon. If you haven't checked us out on Patreon, I urge you to do so. There is a link in the description. That's where you're going to find some exclusive videos like the one I just described. Now, I've already received a stock that is California compliant from Optics Planet. That's the next thing I'm going to do with this rifle. And I have to order a grip fin from Solar Tactical. They've agreed to send me one. I just got to send them the start grip so they can make one to fit. And as soon as we get the stock changed out, I'll send them this grip, and then hopefully we'll get that back soon enough. And we will have made this a California compliant rifle, at least in one fashion. And then as I can acquire other things, I'll try to do it for you 2 or 3 different ways, and we'll see how well that works out. As I mentioned, if you haven't already joined the NRA, please do. We need all your help that we can possibly get. If you own guns like this one, or a handgun or whatever, or shotgun for self-defense, or you carry a gun every day like I do, then I want to urge you also to check out Second Call Defense. Second Call Defense is the company I use to back me up legally if I ever have to defend myself with a firearm. They're going to send money to bail me out of jail. They're going to send money to the attorney to defend me. They're going to send money to the to actually clean up my house, which is kind of cool. If I have to shoot somebody in my house and it makes a god-awful mess, they'll send some money for me to take care of that. They take care of all of that. The nice part about it is I never have to give that money back. I never have to repay it. And that's the part that I've been very encouraged by. So check out Second Call Defense. There is a link in the description for that as well. And please do shop at Optics Planet. They're a sponsor of ours. They do a wonderful job. They send us lots of stuff to review, and I want them to continue doing that. Thank you again for supporting the channel. Thank you again for everything you do. Without you, we'd be wasting our time. And I'm grateful, very grateful that you watch. Have a wonderful week, and please be safe.